Hello, welcome you all for discussing about the 8051 microcontroller architecture programming. The screen, you are able to see the block diagram where there is a microprocessor, there is a program memory in the name of flash, and there is a data memory in the name of on-chip RAM, and there are 4 parallel ports, port 0, port 1, port 2, and port 3, and there is one serial port and 2 timers and an interrupt controller which has 3 software interrupts and 2 hardware interrupts. So from this block diagram we can understand that microprocessor and other 6 mandatory peripherals forms a microcontroller, as we all know. So there is a program memory which we need to be discussed, and this is the program memory. So internally there are 4 kilobytes of program memory, and if necessary we can extend up to 60 kilobytes. But normally we'll never connect any external program memory. We will make use of internal program memory only. To make use of the internal program memory in 8051 microcontroller, it is mandatory for us to connect the EA pin to be logic 1. So external access pin is the 31st pin in an 8051 microcontroller. If you look at the pin diagram, we can able to understand that. So if you look at the pin diagram, the 31st pin of the 8051 microcontroller is external access bar pin. This external access bar pin must be connected to logic 1 as shown here. So then only a microcontroller will make use of the, you can see in the screen, external access bar pin must be connected to VCC. Whenever it is connected to the logic 1 or 5 volts, then only we can able to make use of the internal program memory of your microcontroller. So other than this, there is nothing to worry about program memory. So the program that will be written, that is going to get executed. Coming to the right hand side, we have the data memory. So data memory can access, there are only 128 bytes of data memory and another 128 bytes are reserved for the special function registers. Okay, so this is the internal data memory structure, and data memory can also be extended up to 64 kilobytes. So the left hand side box is a program memory and the right hand side is nothing but the data memory. If you observe carefully, the program memory is starting from the address 0000 and the data memory is also starting from the address 0000. That means there is a separate program memory which has a separate address starting from 0000 to FFFF. That is the memory map or maximum addressable range, because there are 16 bits. And the data memory is also starting from 0000 and goes up to FFFF. So because both the memory location starts at 00 locations, we can conclude that 8051 microcontroller has a Harvard architecture. So this Harvard architecture has separate program memory and separate data memory, which starts from 0000 only. So if the memory location starts from 0000, both program memory and data memory, then we can say it is a Harvard architecture. That is the prime requirement. The other Van Neumann architecture means, so there will be only one memory. That means the address starts from 00 to FFFF. All in between this, the ROM and RAM memory locations will be shared. That is called as Van Neumann architecture. But 8051 belongs to Harvard architecture. That alone we can understand from this slide. Now it is mandatory for us to concentrate on the data memory part, and this is the quick refreshing of the data memory, and this is the data memory structure of 8051 microcontroller, where it is segmented into register banks, bit addressable area, and general purpose area, as we all know. So whatever variables that we create by using C programming, all the variables will occupy some space only in the data memory. So if you look at the screen in the left hand side, so there are some, look at the cursor, there are numbers from 00 to 7F. So this number 00 to 7F is memory address. Because it is represented in hexadecimal, it is 8-bit. 7F means what? 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 1, 1, 1. So because it is 8-bit addressing, so data memory is 8-bit addressable and the program memory is 16-bit addressable. That is what we need to understand, because internally there are only 128 bytes of RAM available in 8051 microcontroller. So it can be addressed with 8-bit itself. And if you observe carefully, there are 4 register banks. We will talk about that in detail later, but right now we need to understand there are 4 register banks, bank 0, bank 1 and bank 2 and bank 3, and each bank contains 8 registers named as R0 to R7 as shown. So each register is an 8-bit register, so it starts from 00 to 07. So 00 to 07 location of a data memory is register bank 0, and 8 to 08 to 0F data memory location is bank 1 register, which is also having R0 to R7, and 10 to 17 is bank 2 registers, 18 to 1F is bank 3 registers. So there are 32 locations which are dedicated for register banks, which is very much useful in interrupt. While discussing about interrupt, this register bank's significance can be discussed in detail. And from the 20th memory location to 2F, that is 20 to 2F, those 16 memory locations are bit addressable locations. 16 locations are bit addressable locations. Why it is called as bit addressable locations? Because each bits are addressable. So in the grid, there are some numbers written. No? These numbers are bit address. That means if you look at the screen, look at the cursor, 00 means what? This is bit 0, this is bit 1, this is bit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 means in hexadecimal it is A. So A, B, C, D, E, F. So 10th bit means 16th bit, 11 bit means 17th bit. So there are 16 bytes and each bit is addressable. So 16 bytes are bit addressable means there are 128 bits are addressable. So 128 means 00 to 7F. So why there are bit addressable location? This is the specialty of the memory to call it as microcontroller. This we need to understand. What do you mean by control? Control means what? I'm controlling the tube light means what? I'm switching on the tube light, I'm switching off the tube light. Controlling the door means what? I'm opening the door, I'm closing the door. So 1 or 0 is control, true or false is control, yes or no is control, 1 or 0 is control. So to control a particular appliance, only one bit is more than enough. With respect to automotive sector, if you want to check, if you want to switch on the headlamp, one bit is more than enough. If you want to switch on the tail lamp, one bit is more than enough. So every bit can control the corresponding appliances. Even if you want to open the airbag, one bit is more than enough. So if one, airbag will open. If 0, airbag will not open. So control means one bit is more than enough. So to access the bits, there must be some facilities available. And this bit addressable area available in the data memory locations contributes much in the hardware side to control the appliances more comfortably. That's all. Say for example, there are 128 bits can be addressed, meaning 128 sensor data can be stored independently in the 16 bytes of location. Like this we can understand. Or 128 actuator status can be stored in the 16 bytes independently. For example, in the 4F location, you can address the 4F and then you can make it as 1. You can address 5.7, you can make it as 0, and you can address 5F and you can make it as 1, which can be a status of a sensor or which can be the output value for an actuator. Like this, 128 bits can be addressed, meaning if you're exactly speaking, 64 sensor data can be stored and 64 actuator data can be stored. For an 8-bit controller, 64 bits from the sensors and 64 bits to the actuators is more than enough for us to do a lot of wonders. So that much facilities are there in the hardware. Hence, it is called as controller. Okay, control means what? On and off. A device which does control is called as controller, and the size is also very small. Hence, it is called as microcontroller. That is another way of celebrating microcontroller. So in this context, if you observe carefully, in the software side, there are few instructions which are available, which are all Boolean instructions. Boolean instructions means what? Instructions which can work with bits. Normally the instructions will work with bytes, but these Boolean instructions will work with bits. So because of the presence of Boolean instructions, we are very much comfortable in doing the control applications. So 8051 instruction sets also supporting the Boolean instructions, which can contribute much to the control applications. The hardware, something like bit addressable nature of the data memory, as well as if you look at the right hand side, they are all special function registers. If you look at the second right hand side block, they are called as special function registers, meaning they are all the on-chip peripherals registers. So internally we have a parallel port, serial port, timer, interrupt controller. So the parallel port, serial port, timer, interrupt controllers registers are available here in the right hand side, and it is named as special function registers. For example, there are 4 parallel ports in our 8051 microcontroller. Those 4 parallel ports are occupying the memory locations 80, 90, A0 and B0. If you observe this very carefully, it is very easy to remember. That's why I'm just starting from that. So the address, the data memory address location 80, as I'm showing in the cursor, look at the cursor. Data memory location 80 is port 0 memory location. Data memory location 90 is port 1 memory location. Data memory location A0 is port 2 memory location. Data memory location B0 is port 3 memory location, meaning 4 parallel ports of 8051 microcontroller occupies the data memory special function registers. Special function data memory special function register locations. So when we call it as port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3, that is also correct. Or you can say 80, 90, A0, B0, that is also correct. So this is something like your name. This is nothing but your address, something like that. So if you address the memory location 80 and if you write into it means it will only come to this place. Or if you address it as port 0 and if you write here means here also data will come here. If you observe very carefully, look at the 80th location. There is also a grid like 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87. Meaning all the parallel ports are bit addressable. That means port 0 is bit addressable. That means P0.0, 80 is P0.0, 81 is P0.1, 82 is P0.2, something like that. Every bit in the port 0 is addressable. Similarly, if you look at the 19th location, port 1, every bit in port 1 is bit addressable. Every bit in port 2 is bit addressable. Every bit in port 3 is bit addressable. So all the 4 parallel ports are bit addressable. So 32 independent devices can be controlled independently. Fantastic. So that is the thing we need to celebrate by looking at the data memory of our 8051 microcontroller, which is very much suitable for any embedded system applications. So that alone we need to concentrate. Other than that, there are some special stack pointers, data pointers, timer registers, etc. And some of the registers are not bit addressable. If you observe carefully, there are some registers which is highlighted, which are not bit addressable. Only few registers are bit addressable. One among them is parallel ports, port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3. So once again, I repeat, because of the presence of bit addressable nature of the parallel ports, because of bit addressing locations available in the data memory, because of Boolean instructions available, those chips are called as controller. The software level, in the instruction level, in the hardware level, the facilities are there to switch on an individual bit, switch off an individual bit in the port. Hence, it is very much suitable for control applications. That is why microcontrollers are called as controller. That alone more than enough. And if you observe carefully in the port diagram, so this is the port structure which discussed in the previous lecture, which was discussed very clearly in the previous lecture. But quickly, I will show you the port structure of 8051 microcontroller. So that will help you to understand up to some extent. If you want detail means, it is mandatory to look at the previous lecture to understand the parallel ports of 8051 microcontroller. So this is the 4 parallel port structure as we discussed in digital electronics. Every port means there should be a latch. So this is very interesting. I want to highlight. I can show you one more block diagram which will be more interesting for all of you. So look at this block diagram. You will really appreciate. If you look at here, these are all the pins. Look at the cursor. This is very important. Look at the cursor. This is port 0 pins and this is port 0 pins. All are bidirectional pins. Because both are bidirectional pins, there are port 0 drivers and port 2 drivers, and there is a port 0 latch and port 2 latch. So what do you mean by latch? Latch means D flip-flop, you know very well. What do you mean by driver? Field effect transistors are driver. And there are pins. So in between pins and latch, there are a driver. Driver is nothing but field effect transistors. That is what we are going to see here now, internal diagram. If you look at this diagram, that is what discussed in the previous discussion, previous slide. Quickly, I will refresh those things. So there is a latch here, which is a D flip-flop, and there is a pin here. In between this latch and the pin, we have a driver, which is field effect transistor. It's very interesting. Okay. So this is the port 1 structure, and this is the port 0 structure, and this is port 3 structure, and this is port 2 structure. So this is the internal architecture of the parallel ports, port 0, port 1, port 2, port 3. So this diagram shows individual pins of the ports. That means here if you see P1.x means what? P1.0. So every port pin is connected with one driver and one latch and 2 tri-state buffers. So because of the presence of tri-state buffer, so the writing into the tri-state buffer is controllable. Writing into the latch is controllable, as well as the reading from the latch is controllable, as discussed in the memory discussion. Yes. Now here it is very clear. With respect to port structure is very clear, right? Okay. Now we'll do some simple programs. That is the prime objective. While discussing the program, whenever necessary, we will talk about the architecture in detail. So quickly to summarize, the presence of processor is capable of computing so many things. But the presence of processor alone is not sufficient. It is mandatory for us to have a program memory where our program need to be written, and there is a need for data memory where our variables need to be written. So the presence of program memory and data memory along with the CPU more than enough to do all wonders in microseconds. But as a user, if you want to communicate with the microprocessor, means the only way is we can communicate only through ports. So ports are the place where exchange of goods takes place between two different medium, water and land in the conventional case. Here also, only through port, the keyboards can be connected to give the input to the microcontroller. Only through ports, the display can be connected to get the output from the microcontroller. So not only keyboard and display, any switches or any sensors can be connected only through ports, or any actuators must be connected only through ports. So any application, any embedded application, it can be an automotive electronics application, it can be a biomedical applications. For any applications, sensors must be connected only to the ports, actuators must be connected only to the ports. So sensors must be, if the sensors are connected to the ports, means port has to be configured as input port. If the actuators are connected to the ports, means the ports must be configured as an output port. That alone we have to understand. That we will be discussing while simulation. So we'll go to the simulation part. For convenience, for just look at what is happening. It is not necessary for us to try this. It is not necessary for us to try this, but it is mandatory for us to look at it and celebrate the wonders of C programming with 8051 microcontroller. To start with, we have to write a hash include symbol, as we all know, hash include, because we are writing only C program. So the first code, hash include reg51.h. What is reg51.h? Which includes the header files of 8051 microcontroller in C programming. And what is the next instruction? While one. So while one must be the first void main. So void main is the first instruction because it is a C program. Void main is the first instruction, which is the very simple syntax. And while one, this is the magic word for an embedded engineer. If you are a computer science engineer, if you are a IT engineer, you will never bother about while one. But if you are an embedded engineer, this while one is having some significance. What do you understand from while one? While one means it has to execute forever. The code within this while one need to execute forever because all embedded systems have to work 24/7. For example, all the TV remote control is working 24/7. The UPS in our house is working 24/7. So all the embedded systems, it is mandatory work 24/7. Hence, the code within the while loop has to execute forever as long as the power supply. That is the significance of while loop. If there is while one, we can say it is an embedded system code. If there is no while one, simply we can say it is not an embedded system code. That is the magic of this while one. And our interest is to blink. Our interest is to blink the port 0 bits of 8051 microcontroller. So we will write the world's smallest code for convenience. We will write the world's smallest code for convenience. So port 0 is the syntax, which is equal to, this is the tilde symbol, which is one's complement symbol, and port 0. So port 0 is one's complement of port 0. If already port zeros are 1 means it will become 0. Then because it is 0, it will become 1. So this port 0 will toggle. That is what we are expecting. Let us see how best it works. Now I am compiling this code. Now we'll see the simulation, how best this port 0 is blinking. That is what we are going to simulate it now. Because it is in the while loop, so it will blink forever. It will blink forever. That is what we are going to see. So this is the simulation window of 8051 microcontroller. This is the simulation is being done using Keil integrated development environment. And if you observe this carefully, there is a facility in the Keil integrated development environment to see the peripherals like this. So there is a parallel port 0. The first row of the parallel port is called as latch, and the second row is pins of port 0. So this is the latch, which is flip-flop, and these are all the pins. So at reset, all the port pins are in logic 1 state, meaning all the port pins are acting as an input port. As well as latches are also 1. Okay. Now because already it is 1, when I execute this code, the port has to blink. Because already it is 1, now I run this code means what? This will become 0. Let us see this. Let us observe this. It is becoming 0 now. Now already it is 0. Now the program is going to execute means now it will become 1. So if you look at the left hand, if you look at the cursor, so the yellow color mark is called as program counter. So program counter is pointing. That means This is the line which is said to be executed. Because it is inside the while loop, so it continuously execute only one instruction, which is port 0 equal to 1's complement of port 0. You can see in the first time all the LEDs are becoming FF, that is port 0 is becoming FF. While executing the second time, port 0 is becoming 00. So keep on executing, it toggles. And as discussed right now, so port 0 is what? Port 0 is what? Port 0 is the data memory location 80. Just now we have discussed the data memory location 80 is port 0. Once again, I am just showing it. So here, port 0 or 80, data memory location 80, both remain same. Now I will justify that. It's very interesting now. So the bottom row, if you look at the cursor, this is the 80th data memory location. The bottom row, this is the 80th data memory location, which is showing FF. So here port 0 is also showing FF. Now if we execute this code, port 0 has become 00. You can see the 80th memory location of the data memory is also becoming 00. So I can able to visualize, or we can able to visualize the data memory content of 8015 microcontroller through the simulator, which is more appreciable. It's more interesting. So that's all. So simply we can see the blinking nature of it. Now I am executing in a single step. I can run this code also. Now I am running, so it's keep on blinking, right? And there is a oscilloscope in the Keil IDE simulator. So it's also interesting. Before going to the oscilloscope, and there is a, we must know the assembly language programming also. We never concentrate much on assembly language programming, but we can see how the assembly language program for this code is working now. So now you look at the screen. Here, look at the instruction, because this is the world's smallest code. I can proudly say that this is the world's smallest code. And from this we can understand more comfortably. So here you can see the highlighted instruction, that is C program instruction, which is port 0 equal to 1's complement of port 0. What do you understand from this? Port 0 equal to 1's complement of port 0 means what? It is a C program. Its equivalent assembly language program in 8015 microcontroller is XRL. What is XRL? XR logic. That means XR the content of port 0 with the immediate constant FF. It is the meaning, right? XRL P0 comma hash 0xFF. Hash means what? It is immediate addressing. So immediately XR the logical XR gate is there, no? So we must do the XR operation with port 0 content with FF value. FF means what? 1111 1111. So XRing the port 0 content will FF will toggle the port 0. That's all. So for this C program, the assembly language program which is written is XR logic port 0 comma 0 hash 0xFF. Hash means it is immediate addressing. Port 0 within bracket is given as 80, means 80 is the data memory location of port 0. That is why it is given in the bracket. And the opcode for XRL is 63. And 80 is what? The port 0 address, and FF is what? This data. So it is a 3-byte instruction which is stored in the memory location 080C, 080D, 080E, etc. So the C program to assembly language programming is happening automatically because of the presence of cross compiler inside this Keil IDE. And this assembly language programming XRL has become 63, which is an opcode. The assembly language program is converted to the machine language, which is because of the cross assembler. So there are cross compilers available which converts the C program to assembly language program. And there are cross assemblers available which converts this assembly language program to machine language program. And there are linkers or locators which are available which keeps this opcodes in a corresponding memory location as 080C, DE, etc. And there is short jump instruction. So there is an assembly language instruction called short jump instruction. It is a relative addressing. So short jump to main. So it is main means what? 080C. It is jumping to again this location. You can see the arrow mark will toggle between these two. So every time the port 0 blinks. Now you can see now with the assembly language programming, the blinking nature. That's all. So every time after executing XRL instruction, port 0 content is getting toggled. That means it is becoming 00, it is becoming FF. That's all. Fantastic, right? So port 0 can be visualized as an oscilloscope. So there is a possibility for us to see the port 0 like a CRO. Don't worry that there is no CRO with us. So there is a possibility for us to simulate the port 0 also by using this. Now you can see the square waveform. So this is how port 0 is. So there is a possibility for us to zoom in, and there is a possibility for us to zoom out. So if you run, so quickly there are a lot of waveforms are going, right? So we go out, so you can see, fantastic, right? If you go in, you can see the internal waveforms. If you press all, so let's keep on going like this. So from this, why I'm doing this blinking code, because if there is a microcontroller, only logic 1 can come out from the microcontroller, or logic 0 can come out from the microcontroller. So by toggling this port, we are able to do the both. Beyond that, there is nothing else to worry about it. If it is 1, the actuator is switching on the device, means if it is 0, actuator will switch off the device. That's all. That alone is necessary for a control. That is why by making the blinking code and by discussing the blinking code, which is the world's smallest code, but 100% of the knowledge of about 8051 can be understood just like that. Like this, if we start learning 8051 microcontroller architecture and programming, it will become a big celebration. Okay. Now, slowly we'll jump into the programming part. Now we'll target much about bit addressing. I keep on discussing about, okay, every port is bit addressable, bit addressable, bit addressable. Now we can do that bit addressing. So just now we have seen all the 8 bits are becoming 0, and again all the 8 bits are becoming 1. That we need to understand. Now our interest is make individual bit to blink. Okay, for that I'm doing a simple change here. Look at the screen. There is a syntax called S bit. S bit, say for example, lamp1 equal to P0.0. Instead of point, the power symbol is being used. That's all. It's very simple. So lamp1 is a label for port 0.0. So now I want to do lamp1 should toggle, right? Lamp1 equal to 1's complement of lamp1. That's all. So now I am compiling, building. Now what happens? Out of 8 bits in port 0, only 1 bit will toggle, because lamp1 is labeled for P0.0. Now if you look at the screen, it's very interesting. I look at the screen. So there is port 0. Now earlier it has become FF and 00. Now only 0.0, this least significant bit alone will blink. That is the magic of this particular code, because this justifies it is bit addressable. Please observe carefully. I'm just running in single step. You can see now it is becoming 1. Bit has become 1. Now bit has become 0. Now that bit has become 1. Now the bit has become 0. Lamp1 is getting toggled. What is lamp1? P 0.0. Fantastic. Okay, that's all. So now I can say individual indicator lamp is glowing, something like that we can say. Or individual lamp is toggling. Okay, when we park the car and then when we have gone for any tea shop or not, we'll press that indicator lamp to blink, no, the night time. So something like that, it will blink. Now I'm running this code, so the individual light will keep on blinking. So that can also be visualized by using the CRO oscilloscope. That can also be visualized by using an oscilloscope. Earlier it was, the oscilloscope is set up for byte. Now we are going to set up for lamp, individual bit. So we can give the label just like that, LAMP, lamp1. So lamp1, now you can see lamp1 is getting, we are getting a square wave from it. Now it is a bit. Lamp1 is P0.0 bit. Okay, so lamp1 is blinking. So from this simulation, what we can understand, so parallel port 0 is bit addressable. So out of 8 bits in port 0, P0.0 alone is toggling. Why? Because P0.0 is configured as lamp1 through the syntax S bit. S bit means it is not set bit, it is special function register bit. So special function register bit P0.0 is labeled as lamp1. Hence, lamp1 equal to 1's complement of lamp1 means lamp1 need to be toggled. So look at here, 80.0. Earlier it was the 80th location. Now it is showing it as 80.0 location. So in the 80th byte, 0th bit. That is 80.0. Now you look at the disassembly window, it's very interesting. Earlier, if you look at the assembly language code, lamp1 equal to 1's complement of lamp1 is a C code. If you look at the assembly language code, instead of XRL, here it is complement logic. There is something like complement logic, which is Boolean instruction. What is Boolean instruction? Complement the bit. That means it is related with the bit. If you observe carefully, complement logic lamp 1. What is lamp 1? 80.0. So 0th bit in the 80th memory location. Exactly speaking, 0th bit in the 80th data memory location need to get complemented. So individual bits are addressable through the Boolean instructions that is justified now, and the ports are also bit addressable. Hence, controlling is more comfortable and controlling is more convenient using microcontroller. That is why microcontrollers are sitting inside an electronic control unit of every automobile. Fantastic. So easy use the drive, easy use the heart for any automotive sector. So the easy use main hardware module is microcontroller, as we all know very well. It's fantastic, right? Now we'll do some simple automotive application, which is quite interesting, right? Now what we can do is, okay, let us say there are 4 indicator lamps in a car. So, but I have to switch on the lamp. I need a switch. So when I switch on one switch, 4 lamp has to blink. That is what the parking lamp. Normally we used to say parking lamp. So now we are going to simulate the parking lamp indicator, which will be very interesting. So the presence of control C, control V is very much interesting for us. Yes or no? Presence of control C and control V very much comfortable for us. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, bit. Okay, sorry. Now we can copy paste lamp 1. So I can use 4 lamps now. Lamp 1, lamp 2, lamp 3, lamp 4 first. I can select individual 4 lamps, lamp 1, lamp 2, lamp 3, lamp 4. I am selecting individual bits at P0.0, 0.1, 0.1, 0.3. And all the 4 lamps need to be toggled, right? All the 4 lamps need to be toggled. Let us see whether it is happening or not first. Then we'll go for the next part of discussion. So to make it to feel more comfortable, I'm just typing the code in front of you. It is as simple as this. To make you to understand, this is as simple. Writing a C program for an embedded system is not much complex. To give that comfortness and confidence, I'm just typing the code in front of you. That much simple and that much easy is this. Or is there any complexity? There is no complexity. There are 4 lamps which are declared labeled for 4 bits P0.0, 1, 2, 3, and all the 4 lamps need to be toggled. Everything you know very well. So simply we can see the simulation output. Will be so we can celebrate just like that how it works. So now we'll go to the simulator window. Now instead of 1 bit, 4 bits has to toggle one by one, because the instructions will get executed one by one. Now let us see, it's very interesting now. So in the simulator window, if we see, I'm just executing one by one. So lamp 1 means what? Look at the screen here, look at the parallel port 0 structure. One by one, the bit will become 0 if you observe carefully. Then one by one, bit will become 1, observe carefully. And look at the instructions also. You can see single step. Lamp 1 has become 0, lamp 2 has become 0, lamp 3 has become 0, lamp 4 has become 0. Again what? Again it has to toggle, right? So while loop is over, again because lamp 1 is already 0. Because of 1's complementing, lamp 1 will become 1. That means the least significant bit of port 0 will become 1. You see? Then next bit will become 1. So the tick mark is 1. The empty block is 0. The port 0. The tick mark, if there is a tick mark, means it is 1. If there is no tick mark, means it is 0. So you can see sequentially it is becoming 1, 1, 1, 1 now. Then sequentially it will becoming 0, 0, 0, 0. Then 1, 1, 1, 1. Then 0, 0, 0, 0. So all the 4 lamps are blinking like this. So all the parking lamp of a car, we have designed the parking lamp of a car. So if we see the assembly language programming, same 4 instructions: complement logic, complement logic, complement logic, complement logic. But here 80.0, 80.1, 80.2, 80.3. So 4 individual bits in a byte itself is addressable. Hence the control of 4 lamps is just like that possible with 4 bits, that too with a single nibble. And there is a possibility for us to see all the blinking nature of all the four lamps just by setting like this. So now I can set for lamp 2, LAMP. I can set lamp 2. Similarly, I can set lamp 3. It's very interesting. That much powerful is our Keil IDE. So why, if we learn microcontroller through Keil IDE, then learning becomes a celebration, as well as learning becomes more comfortable. Now you can see the screen. There are 4 lamps, 4 square waveforms. You see, fantastic, right? So beautiful, right? It's something like watching more powerful thing. So there are square waveforms are coming. When you stop the running, and you stop running means it will come. If I do single step execution, you can understand very well. I do see, you can see. First lamp 1 is becoming 0, then lamp 2 is becoming 0. Now you can see the simulation at the top right corner, you see lamp 3 has become 0. Now lamp 4 will become 0. You see, single step, lamp 4 has become 0. Now you see lamp 1 will become 1. Now you see lamp 1 has become 1, lamp 2 has become 1, lamp 3 has become 1, lamp 4 has become 1. After some time, lamp 1 has become 0, lamp 2 becomes 0, lamp 3 becomes 0, lamp 4 becomes 0. Fantastic, right? So timing in microseconds can be visualized very clearly by using simulator. That much powerful the simulators are, which we need to appreciate. Now you can ask the question, sir, the lamp is keep on blinking, sir. I need some control over the lamp, sir. I need some switch, sir. When you switch on only, lamp will, all the 4 lamps should toggle. But now when I switch on the microcontroller, that means if I ignite the car, the lamp will keep on blinking, sir. Even when I am riding, even when I am stopping, until I switch on the engine or until I switch off the battery, the indicator lamps will be glowing, sir. I need a control over this lamp, sir. We need some control, sir. What to do, sir? Like that you are asking. I can understand. So let us bring the control also. How to bring a control? Very easily we can add one more bit called S bit. Switch 1, something like that we can give. Switch 1 equal to use some other port, say for example, for your convenience 2.0. So when the 2.0 switch is on means parking lamp switch is on, then all the 4 lamps should be toggled. So for doing this, in the C program, what is the code? We can write an if statement. We can write an if statement. If switch 1 equal to 0, then toggle all the 4 lamps. It's fantastic, right? If switch 1 equal to 0, toggle all the 4 lamps. If not, it is better to switch off the lamp. You should not leave it while on. Will come to else, it will execute this statement. This we all know with respect to C programming, it is very, very simple. If the condition is true, that means if switch 1 equal to 0, if this condition is true, then all the 4 lamps will toggle. It will keep on executing. When switch 1 will become 0, when we make P2.0 as 0 manually by pressing the switch means, then this condition will become true, then all the 4 lamps will toggle. By making P2.0 as 1, this condition will fail. So this code inside this condition will not work. So after executing the 12th line, program execution will jump to 19th line and it will execute the else statement. So 21, 22, 23, 24th line will get executed. Now the lamp will become 0 if switch is not pressed. So let us experience this. That can help us to understand much better. And now we are going to again to the simulator window. In the previous examples, we have seen only the output. Now we are giving some input and there some processing is happening. And after processing, we are going to get some output, which is very interesting. So port 0 is the output port where we have connected all the 4 indicator lamps. But in port 2, we have connected our switch. So this is the port 2 where we have connected the switch, which is individual bit 2.0, the LSB of this. Now let us do this. Now if now I am running the code, but the LED is not toggling because I have never pressed the switch. There is no waveforms in the screen. Now I'm pressing the switch. Please look at the screen. In P port 2, please look at the cursor. Look at the screen. And This is port 2. This is P2.0. The LSB bit is P2.0. When I click this, that is I'm making purposefully 0. So when I click this, this bit will become 0. When this bit will become 0 means this condition is true. Then all the 4 lamps will start toggling. That we have to see in the oscilloscope as well as that will blink into the port 0. You can see. Just I'm pressing this switch. You can see all the 4 ports are blinking. So all the 4 bits are blinking. Assuming 4 indicator lamps in the 4 sides of the car is keep on blinking because we have pressed that parking lamp switch. Switch 1 is parking lamp switch. So as long as the switch 1 equal to 0, all the 4 lamps will keep on blinking. Blinking means what? It is toggling. If it is 1 means lamp will on. If it is 0 means lamp will off. Okay, now I am switching off. See, I am making it as 1. If I am making it as 1 means it will switch off. So I am making it as 1. So there is no square waveform. So all the 4 bits of port 0 is 0, 0, 0, 0. Lamp is off. When I am pressing, lamp on. All are toggling. When I am switching off, lamp is off. Now I have a control over this. So this is what parking lamp simulation using 8051 microcontroller, something like that we can say. It's fantastic, no? So like this, if you know the concept and if you know the procedure more comfortably, all wonders can be done just like that. Now look at the assembly language programming. It's quite interesting, right? Because sometimes people are asked us to look at the assembly language programming. Learning the assembly language programming like this is more fun as well as you can learn more. So in the C programming, for an if statement, what is the assembly language program? If you observe this carefully, look at the screen. Here, if switch 1 equal to 0, the C programming. For this C program, what is the assembly language code? Jump bit. There is an assembly language instruction called jump bit. So jump bit, switch 1 equal, switch 1 comma C. If there is a bit in the switch, that is if there is a bit in the A0th location, 0th bit, jump to 0x0D. 0x0D means what? Jump to the else statement. If there is a bit means jump to the else statement because 0x0D is else statement. You see here 0x0D here. Yeah, you can see 0x0D. This is the location. Please look at the cursor, which is very important. Every one of our eyes should be only in the cursor. You can look at the cursor. This is 0x0D. So there is a jump bit instruction. If there is a bit, jump bit means what? If there is logic 1 in A0.0. Logic 1 means what? If that A0.0 bit is 1. A0.0 bit means what? 2.0. Port 2.0 bit is 1 means jump here. Don't toggle. Jump to 080D. Jump to 080D. There you can clear all the lamps. So clear lamp 1, clear lamp 2, clear lamp 3, clear lamp 4. Lamp 1 equal to 0 is the C program. For that assembly language program written is clear lamp 1, clear lamp 2, clear lamp 3, clear lamp 4. What are the lamp 1, lamp 2, lamp 3, lamp 4? The port data memory location 80.0, 80.1, 80.1, 80.3. That's all. But if the condition is false means what? If switch 1 jump bit, if there is a bit, it has to jump. If there is no bit, it can execute this complement logic. Fantastic, right? Now you see, I'll show you that. Now the bit is 1. Now the bit is 1. Look at the screen here. Now the bit is 1. Now it will jump from 800 to 80D. I do single step, yes. It has jumped from 800 to 80D. And then already the lamps are 0. Again it will clear it as 0, 0, 0, 0. Again it will check for the condition. Again there is a bit, so it is jumping down, clearing the lamp. Again it is jumping there to 800. Again there is a bit. Again it is jumping down. Again it is clearing all those bits. You can see both the C program and assembly language program executing simultaneously. Fantastic, no? Now purposefully I am making the bit as 0. Now this condition is false. Now I am making the condition P2.0 as 0. So if there is a bit, it will jump to 080D. Now there is no bit, it will come down here and then it will complement the 0th bit in 80th data memory location. We can see now it has come down. It never jumped to 080D like earlier case. Now it will make 80.0 as 1, 80.1 as 1, 80.2 as 1. You can see, observe carefully. Yes, it is becoming 1. Then it will become 0 because 2.0 is already 0. So as long as it is 0, program execution will be only within this if statement. You see, I'm just running. Program execution will be only in this statement, within this statement. So you can see the arrow mark is jumping within this. So and you can look at the Port 0 also, it is becoming 1 1 1 1, then it is becoming 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 0. So indicator lamp is glowing. But soon after, if I am making it as 1, so it will never go inside this if statement, it will go out from the if statement like this. So once again, to conclude, I am running this code. If I make it as 0, the blink will, the 4 LEDs are toggling. If I press means it will switch off, which is simulated in the logic analyzer, simulated through logic analyzer also. Logic analyzer, as you can see, I am making it as 0. 4 square waveforms are coming. If I press, 4 square waveforms are becoming 0. So fantastic, right? So I can zoom in and zoom out. I can see all outputs. You can see 0, now 0, then 1, 0. So wonderful pattern is coming here, right? See, like this we can celebrate a lot. And the 4 waveforms are coming in 4 different patterns. So when I press on, when I switch on, it is logic 1. All the 4 lamps are toggling. So if I zoom in, I can see it is toggling. You can see all the 4 lamps. I'm just keep on zooming in. All the four lamps are toggling. In zooming out, you can see this. Wow, fantastic, right? But if I switch off, so all will become 0. So on, 4 lamps are toggling. Off, 4 lamps are switched off. Fantastic, sir. This is how we can simulate all the assembly language code as well as C program, and we can see the register contents, etc. Now, the indicator, that is parking lamp project, is being simulated more comfortably in a more beautiful way by using this. And by using one more celebration, we'll wind up our today's discussion. Now we can discuss yet another application of an automotive body control module. In the previous example, we have used one switch and 4 indicator lamps, and the simulation or the prototype or the simulation of the parking lamp is being discussed. There, if we observe carefully, there is only 1 bit input, which is a switch, and the 4-bit outputs as 4 indicator lamps. In this example, we can see the body control module, another example of central locking system. For central locking system, but there are 4 doors. So for 4 doors, there should be 4 sensors, and if all the 4 doors are closed, the sensor, all the 4 sensors will give the logic 0. If all the 4 sensors gives logic 0 means, then only the door close failure indication lamp will switch off. Else, the door close failure indication lamp will glow. So for that particular project, we are going to write the code now. So for convenience, let us start the code from the beginning. For convenience, let us start the code from the beginning. So let me start like hash include reg51.h, and as usual, we are initializing the peripheral, right? We are initializing the peripheral. Say for example, S bit, let us say door 1. Door 1 equal to, let us say door 1 is P0.0. We can use any port pin, but here we are using port 0.0. This is one of the options, but it is not mandatory. Okay, 0.0 is for door 1, and there are 4 doors. So I'm just copying and pasting 4 times. S bit is special function register bit. So door 2, door 3, and door 4. So door 2 is P0.1, door 3 is P0.2, and door 4 is P0.3. So for doors, so what do you understand from this? The sensor from the door 1 is connected to P0.0 pin. Sensor from door 2 is connected to P0.1 pin. Similarly, sensor from door 3 is connected to 0.2. Sensor from door 4 is connected to 0.3. And the lamp, the failure lamp, we can say, not failure lamp, simply let me put it as lamp, S bit lamp. Lamp to indicate the door open status is, say for example, P2.0. Let us say P2.0. Now, what to write as usual after initializing the peripherals? Void main. So void main is the C code, and it's better to open the brace and close the brace. And there must be while 1. Without while 1, no code is embedded code. While 1, again open brace, close brace. So we need to check the condition. So we need to check the condition. What is the condition? All the 4 doors must be closed. If all the 4 doors are closed, failure lamp should switch off. How to check all the 4 lamps are closed? You must use the if statement as shown. If checking for door 1, if door 1 equal to 0, door 1 equal to 0, and because it is logical and door 1 equal to 0, and door 2 equal to 0, and door 3 equal to 0, and door 4 equal to 0. If all these 4 conditions are satisfied, what is the meaning? The sensors, all the 4 sensors from 4 doors, are 0 means what? All the 4 doors are closed. If all the 4 doors are closed, it means what? The failure lamp should switch off. That means lamp has to become 0. Else, the lamp should glow to notify the driver as well as the passengers to close the door properly. So lamp has to glow. So if lamp is 1 means lamp is glowing. Say for example, if lamp is 1 means lamp is glowing. If the lamp is 0 means we can use the command test. Lamp off. Lamp off. You can say lamp off. Like this we can give the commands also. Here also you can lamp on. Failure lamp on. Like this you can give comments also. So this is a small simple code for simulating the body control module of a central locking system of a car. So the 4 sensor outputs are connected to 0.0, 0.1, 0.1, 0.3, and the failure lamp indication is P2.0 bit. So all are bit addressable now. So checking the condition whether door 1 is closed or door 2 is closed or door 3 is closed or door 4 is closed by checking for 0 in the all 4 port pins. If all the 4 doors are closed, it means all the bit variables will become 0. If all the bit variables are becoming 0 means this condition, if condition is true. So the code for this if condition will execute. So the code here written here is lamp equal to 0. So the lamp will switch off. So lamp equal to 0 means what? Lamp is connected to P2.0. So the lamp which is connected to P2.0 will switch off. If any one of the door is open, the condition is false. So the lamp 0 code will not get executed. Else code will get executed. Once if the else code is getting executed means lamp will continuously glowing until all the doors are closed. So let us simulate it and check whether it is happening or not. So we are compiling the code and then we are simulating. So this is the power of Keil IDE where we can simulate, we can do a lot of things. So all the software for embedded systems can be done more comfortably by using Keil IDE. So now let me run the code. So P2.0 is the lamp and P0.0 is the door. So we are closing the first door. So P0 sensor is becoming 0 and out P0.0 is closing the second door. So second input is becoming 0. Still now the lamp is on. You can see if it is 1 means lamp is on, indicating that there is a failure. Third door is closed. Still the lamp is on. Now the fourth door is closed. Now only the door has become 0. The window in the simulator window as well as in the oscilloscope window, the one has become 0. Suddenly if one door is opening means the failure lamp is on. If any one of the door is opened, suddenly the lamp will become 1. Close means then only lamp will become 0. So now I am showing once again. Door 1 open, door 2 open, door 3 open, door 4 open. Now all the 4 doors are open. So the failure lamp is glowing. Closing one door, still the failure lamp is glowing. Closing the second door, still the failure lamp is glowing. Closing the third door, still the failure lamp is glowing. Closing the fourth door, still the failure. So now all the 4 doors are closed. The failure lamp is switched off. Fantastic. So this is the 800 simulation of the body control module. But if you look at the disassembly window, it's much more interesting. For the assembly language code written for the same course, if you observe this carefully, the checking for 4 times jump bit, jump bit, jump bit, jump bit. The 4 times it is checking. The 4 times if there is a bit, it will jump to 810. That means 4 times if there is a bit means it will jump to 810. Else it will clear the lamp, something like that. If there is no bit means then only it will clear the lamp. Okay. If it is a bit means it will jump to 810. That is 810. 810 is set bit. So there is an Boolean instruction. This is a Boolean instruction, set bit. Which bit need to be set? A0.0. That is A0.0. A0 means what? 4 0th bit. So port 2 0th bit will set if there is a bit in any one of these four inputs. What are the four inputs? 80.0, 80.1, 80.2, 80. What is 80.0? P0.0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. If there are bits in 0.0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, it will jump to 810 to set the failure lamp bit. If there is no bit in 0.0, it will check for bit in 0.1. If there is no bit in 0.1, it will come and check for 0.2. If there is no bit in 0.2, it will come and check for 0.3. So the sequentially it is checking all the four door sensors. If all the four sensors are giving four door sensors are giving 0 output means, then only it will come down and clear the failure lamp. So this is the assembly language program which we need to understand. So these are all Boolean instructions. Jump bit is also Boolean instruction. Clear the corresponding bit A0.0 is a Boolean instruction. Set bit is also the Boolean instruction which is written for the its equivalent C program as lamp equal to 1, lamp equal to 0, and if statement. If condition means jump bit. Now it is very clear, right? If condition means jump bit is the assembly language program. It's equivalent, something like that we can celebrate. Okay, that's all, and thank you very much.